You were listening to Feed Your Mind. A lot of you don't realize that everything you've been told about the universe in your public educational school system is actually indoctrination. In this video, I will prove this to you. The solar system, as it has been told to us, is simply a tradition and a myth that has been passed down through generations over the last 500 years or so, from the Copernicus Catholic origin. There's a reason why the calendar system starts on Sunday. And so in this video, to prove that the solar system is not what we were told, we're going to have to cover the history of the solar system, because the solar system concept isn't really that old. It's only about 500 years ago that the solar system concept began to take root into the minds of the masses. The solar system is actually heliocentric pagan sun worship. You see, this guy named Pythagoras invented the heliocentric solar system model in order to glorify the sun as the center of the solar system, when in reality everything is geocentric and the stars and the planets actually revolve around the stationary non-movable Earth. And so Pythagoras took these wandering stars in the sky and turned them into planets to worship. And if you notice, all of these planets are named after pagan gods. Planets like Neptune and Mercury and everything like that is all named after pagan entities. These planets are not solid objects. Even scientists admit that planets like Jupiter and Saturn are actually gas giants, which is really just a fancy word for a star. And this is very important to understand, because most people look up at the sky and think solid planets are actually floating around in the sky. But really, what we have been told were planets are actually lights in the sky. If you look at any picture provided by NASA that shows a planet, there's usually text next to the image that says, "This is an artist's rendering." So there's no actual evidence that planets are solid objects floating around in the sky. All the amateur pictures of planets show what simply appears to be a star-like object in the sky. And so to lump Earth in with the objects that we see in the sky automatically makes you draw a connection between the Earth being just one of many objects floating around in outer space. But really, there is no connection to the Earth and what we see in the sky. This was a big part of your indoctrination. And so Pythagoras started this school of sun worship, and it was designed to promote his heliocentric worldview, with the sun being this massive star in the middle of the solar system that everything is revolving around. He did this as an act of worship for the sun, and the school that Pythagoras started was not just a scientific school. If you do your research, you will find out that the school was actually very ritualistic and occultic. The school had many practices that honored and worshiped the sun. One of the things being that the school started at the crack of dawn in order to worship the rising of the sun. And so we can probably thank Pythagoras for the reason why everything is designed to start so early in the morning. And so Pythagoras' school of sun worship was not very mainstream at all. It was more occult and hidden knowledge that he was teaching and promoting, and based on pagan religious sun worship. This pagan religious sun worship goes back in time throughout history. There was many pagan entities that were worshipped as the sun. You probably heard of a few of them, like Ra, Horus, Helios, and many others. But really, all of these gods represent Lucifer. And I just released a video where I actually go into much more detail about Pythagoras. So check that video out if you get a chance, because we also link the sun symbolism to serpent worship and the snake. So check out that video when you get a chance. And so it seems Lucifer prefers to be symbolized as a sun instead of a serpent, because it would be kind of tough recruiting new members to worship him if it was a scary snake serpent. Most people would be thinking, oh, well, that's the devil. It's like the Bible says a serpent was in the Garden of Eden, and they would link Lucifer with the snake, and then it would be much more difficult recruiting new members. And so with this sun worship and representing the serpent as the sun, it makes it easier for this Lucifer sun worship to appeal to more of an audience who are not aware that they're actually worshiping Lucifer, the son of the morning. And speaking of son of the morning, that's why a lot of these Illuminati logos all represent the rising sun. Companies like Shell and many others all have the symbolism of a rising sun. And so the Pythagoras school of sun worship really stayed underground up until about 500 years ago, when Copernicus helped bring this heliocentric solar system model to the mainstream, so that the masses now are all taught this pagan solar system sun worship model in their schools. And nobody really thinks twice about it to this day. They think it's all normal. But really, this was all designed for Illuminati sun worship purposes.
Today we're going to build a solar system using...
Let's start with the biggest object in our solar system, the sun. The sun is the center of our universe. It is a great big star. It is the closest star to the Earth.
And this is the solar system swirl. And it's called the solar system swirl. In our solar system, all planets move around the sun, but all at different distance and move at different speeds.
Unlike the planets in our solar system, the sun's name is not derived from some Roman god. The word sun is believed to stem from the Old English spelling of sunne. It wasn't always known as the sun, though. Ancient Greece dubbed the flaming orb Helios, the son of the titans Hyperion and Thea. In ancient Rome, the sun was known as Sol, Latin for sun, and was attributed to the deities Sol and the less popular Sol Indiges. For Egyptians, the sun took form as the god Ra, who was later merged with Horus to create Ra-Horakhti, or the god of the sky, earth, and the underworld.
For millennia, well-educated people believed the earth was flat and placed at the center of the universe, enclosed there with a protective covering. In the early 16th century, Nikolai Copernicus introduced a different model of the universe in which the sun lay at the center and the earth revolved around it. Copernicus' heliocentric model is taught today, while the earlier geocentric model has been utterly rejected. The Catholic Church advanced Copernicus' heliocentric model, constantly urging him to spread it abroad. The necessity to change public conception from an accurate belief in a flat, enclosed earth to a false belief grew slowly.
This is how you, on Earth's surface, are moving through the universe aboard Spaceship Earth.
For the longest time, mankind believed that the Earth was the center of the solar system, and that the sun revolved around the Earth. And it's very easy to see how they believe that. You know, because when you wake up in the morning, the sun's over here. At lunchtime it's over here. In the evening it's over there. It certainly appears to us that the sun is moving. I agree. That's the way it appears to our senses. And yet in the 16th century, along came a man called Copernicus. And through his mathematics and through his telescope, he proved absolutely that it wasn't the Earth that was revolving, or rather, it wasn't the sun that was revolving around the Earth, but it was the Earth that was revolving around the sun. And now I believe that. Everybody here believes that. I mean, I have no doubt. I have no doubt that the sun is moving around the sun. But I don't know about you. I have never once seen this planet move. I haven't. Never once. And yet every time I look up into the sky, I see the sun in a different place. Providing it's there. It is Vancouver. You know, so what happens is that what I believe that the Earth is revolving around the sun, even though it defies my senses. I believe something that defies my senses. And yet I believe it. I really do believe it's the Earth going around the sun. Makes no sense, but I believe it.
Check out my heliocentric deception playlist for much more information on the subject. I'll leave the link in the comment section and the description box. Simply enter your email address at feedyourmind1.com. That way I can send you some cool news briefs throughout the week. It's completely free.